Hi, welcome to my new channel. If you came over from my other channel, GS Nadine, and you're a regular, welcome. I have a new channel. It's called Legacy Imprint. Um, and if it's your first time, welcome as well. Um, I I've been on YouTube for quite a while. To believe it's almost, I think it's 8 years, and I wanted to start a new channel because I'm pretty much in a new chapter in my life, and I want to just give you backstory of um, what came about with this new channel. So, um, if you've been with me for a while, you probably know, but almost 3 years ago in June, this June will be 3 years that my husband Aaron passed away. Here's a picture of him, handsome man, and it was unexpected, and I didn't know what to do because I was a stay-at-home mom working part-time, and he was the breadwinner. And in case you don't know, I have 4 kids. I'll put a picture of them. Sydney, who is 19, Christian is 17, London is 15, and Zachariah, we call Zach, is 13. And I also became a stay-at-home single parent, and I did not know what I was going to do. Um, I thank God for my church family, one especially the one here in Boston, which I'm very close to, and I still have a church family in Atlanta where we used to go. But it was very difficult and hard. Um, I felt like I had to be strong for my kids because at the time they were still young. In my eyes, they were still young. So um, it was, we had a memorial here in Boston, and then we had a memorial in Atlanta. And to the point it got so overwhelming that we left early. We were supposed to stay like 2 or 3 more days longer, but we left early because we just wanted to be home. And it was hard to um, just live this new normal, but we had to. We didn't have a choice. Um, and so I didn't want to go back to church, but 2 weeks after, me and my children were back in church because I knew that's what God wanted. I don't want to use Aaron's death as an excuse not to go to church because I just knew God will get us through this, which He did. Now, we had some difficult moments, especially with my kids. I am not going to go into that because I need to respect their privacy. Um, and so they probably will want me to share, but they had some issues and some of it was very serious. But because of God, we got through it. So, fast forward to last year, I was thinking about how when my husband passed away, I'm very organized. My other channel, as you GS Nadine, as you know, is a very about DIYs and organization and all that. But because I'm very organized, I knew exactly where my husband's our stuff was, like where our life insurance policy was, where health insurance, um, everything you could think of. I knew exactly where it was because I organized it all. So when he passed, it wasn't hard for me to find everything. But I was thinking, when I pass, if I pass before my children, will they know where all this stuff is? And so I started creating this journal for them that has like my life insurance information, my social security number, my bank account information, any investments, everything. And I kept all this stuff in like folders, file folders, and that because I had to go through a lot when I had when my husband passed. And so I was creating this journal for my kids, and as I was creating it, I really felt in my spirit that God doesn't speak audibly, He speaks through His word. But I felt that this is something I needed to create for everybody. So everyone has something like this. So in March of 2024, I was praying and I was like, Lord, I really want to create this journal, but I don't know how to start, where to begin. Can you bring something to me to get me started? And it's so funny because I was on Facebook and I was just scrolling and I came across this company called Hiroshio Printing, and it teaches women how to create their own journals. And I was like, oh, this is God. This is because I never seen this company before. And so I reached out to them, and they had like a workshop, a 5-day workshop, to introduce what it's like to make a high end, beautiful journal. Because you can get journals anywhere, but I wanted a high end, well made journal. And so I went through the workshop, and then they have a class, a school. Excuse me, the woman's name is Polly. She has a, a print school. That's what she calls it, for women who wants to create journals. Now, what I like about this is that you have to apply. It isn't like everyone can do it because it's Christian based, and she wants to. It's basically your work is representing her company as well, and so basically it's like applying for college. So I was like, you know what? Let me. Sorry, my computer's acting funny. So I was like, let me apply. And so I applied. I told her what I want my journal to be about. And within a week later, I got an email from her, and she said that she thinks my journal will be a wonderful thing that's totally needed, and that she would love to help me. So I invested in doing that, and it was the best investment I could have ever made, because she walks you through. She has modules where it walks you through, like, why do you want to create this journal? Who's this journal for? When the person has the journal in the hand, what do you want them to experience? It wasn't like, okay, this is what you do and do it. She walks you through it. And I went through this whole process. It took me a year to create this journal, because you have to go through ideation, like, designing the journal. And like, she even gives you her designers that she uses, and her printing company and all that. It was such a wonderful experience. And um, I'm an artist, so I can create the journal myself if I wanted to. But one thing I've realized is that when my husband passed, time is precious. And so I decided to invest in a designer to create my journal. And that way I don't have to put all my time into it, because I put so much time into creating what I want inside the journal, and I just need someone to make it look beautiful. So um, I reached out to a designer. Uh, her name happens to be Nadine, and so she got what was in my head into a book. And I mean, the way she did it, like, I had to create a Pinterest board. I had to say, like, what colors I want, what type of font, what kind of feel do you want it to have. And so she did a beautiful job, because when she showed me the final build out, I was just like, wow. I was in tears when I just saw the master pages. I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this is coming to reality. And so I paid her to do that. And then I worked on printing company again, Verocchio Printing. That's the name of the company that I worked with. Well, I'm sorry, they're the print school, but the printing company, she had a couple of them she recommended, so I picked one, and they're so good. And I've been reaching out to them, talking to them. I know of all the tariffs that's going on, I got to deal with that, but because printing companies, the ones that let me clarify, what I've learned is from Polly and the Hiroshima printing schools, that a lot of the printing companies in the US is a whole lot more expensive than the printing companies in China. So mine's has come from China. So um, to wrap this up, my journal it came. It's in Boston, and I had to get it shipped to Texas, and I got it yesterday. I don't want to show it today, because I want to go through, because I have to go through a fine tooth comb, because this is my sample that I can see, okay, what I want to change, what I want to, take away, add, or anything like that. But I will show it in my next video. But it's just, I can't believe I did this, and it's honor of my husband, um, Aaron, and just God for just putting this idea in my head. And I've created 2 journals before I sell on Amazon. They don't sell, but it was like, KDP, and just still learning, but this one I put skin in the game for this one. And it took me a full year. I started physically started creating and writing down about this journal since April. That's when I joined the school. And it's now April of 2025, and it's a year later. It took me 1 year to make this journal. And I know it's going to do so well. It's needed. It's again, I'll explain what the journal is. It's not your typical, write your feelings or, everyday journaling, but trust me, I'll explain everything. But I just wanted to say welcome to my new channel. Um, yeah, I'm Nadine, single mom of four, and a lover of Christ, but I just wanted to share that. And until the next video, you'll see my journal. You guys have a blessed day.